Let me tell you a word on procrastination. If procrastination was a competitive sport, I would be undisputed, indisputed, undefeated, all the words. Like, I would dominate across the globe. Like, it won't even be me twiddling my thumbs, it'll be me avoiding this task with another form of productivity. Like, oh, I'm avoiding this thing. Let me go learn Spanish right now. Like, what? No one's doing it like me. Nobody. I'm a procrastination legend. Week 4. Week 4. We did it. Week 4, recovering a sense of integrity. Appropriate name. Appropriate name for the torture she asked us to do this week. Let me read you a little. This week may find you grappling with changing self definition. The essays, tasks, and exercises are designed to catapult you into productive introspection. It did, and integration of new self awareness. This may be both very difficult and extremely exciting for you. Warning, do not skip the tool of reading deprivation. I think you already know I skipped it. I skipped it, but I'm gonna do it. After sitting with it for a week, I'm gonna do it. But let's dive in. I did my morning pages, didn't do artist date. Whoops. This week, she really focuses on looking at past you and future you. One of my favorite exercises was she asked you to remember what you were like at 8 years old. And remember what were your favorite things? What were you interested in? What did you think you were going to be when you were 8 years old? And to write a letter to your future self from the perspective of 8-year-old you. And that was such like a beautiful experience. And so for me, I feel like I think 8-year-old me would be cool with me now. Very different, not what I had in mind. I think at 8 I wanted to be a Spice Girl. So there's that. But and then there's another exercise where now like think about what do you want your life to be like at 80 years old? And that was a really powerful exercise. What else? There was another exercise where she asked you to look around and like where in your apartment or whatever, what's your creative space like and how can you romanticize this creative space? And make it so that you like kind of want to be there and it feels good and it represents like what you're trying to do in this space and like just some really powerful beautiful exercises. Ooh, another exercise I really enjoyed was she asked you to imagine like where is your ideal home, like what neighborhood is it in, what does it look like? What does it feel like? What is the air? And like really get vivid. There's some just really fantastic exercises that require your imagination and require that ask you to dream a little bit. Dream and imagine and remember. And I thought those were particularly powerful. Um, and then she tries to put you in this torpor chamber. Torpor chamber. Torture chamber. Torture chamber. She tries to lead you into this torture chamber called reading deprivation. Now, I believe this book was written in the 70s, so there's no mention of like telephones and computers and social media and that kind of stuff. But basically, her idea of reading deprivation is take away the things that kind of suck up your free time. She's under the assumption that we're reading magazines and gossip columns and whatnot to escape. And for me, that is social media. Like, I don't really read fiction right now, so that's not an issue. My biggest time suck is social media, bar none. I might have talked about this before. I feel like a drug addict. It's to the point where I'll be driving somewhere and I'll stop at a red light. And rather than just sit at the red light, I will grab my phone and start scrolling. That is a problem. That is a huge problem. So she recommends not like depriving yourself, whatever your your form of escapism is, get rid of it for 7 days. Immediate no. Absolutely not. I was like, there's no way. Like, I can't do that. I literally, so, a couple days go by and then I'm like, okay, maybe I'll just do one day. One day. I did make it about 8 hours. I did. And then once the sun started going down, I was back on demon time. I was scrolling and having the time of my life. So I didn't do it. I failed. I skipped the one exercise she said don't skip, but I am gonna do it. I'm actually gonna try to document when I do it because that's how much of a gargantuan Herculean task I feel like that's gonna be, is to stay off my beloved TikTok. I love TikTok so much, y'all don't even understand. I love her down. She's so fun. Twitter, YouTube is another one. Ooh, I love a video essay. You don't even know. It doesn't even have to be something I actually care about. I'm gonna sit through it anyway. And so knowing that that is where a lot of my time goes, and why I have so many things still on my to-do list from several weeks ago, I'm gonna really try to be present and do things and like focus. And hopefully this ends up rewiring my brain or whatever. But yeah, I failed. Straight up. Let me tell you, hold on. Let me tell you a word on procrastination. If procrastination was a competitive sport, I would be undefeated. I would be world renowned. Nobody does it better than me. Undisputed, indisputed, undefeated, all the words. Like, I would dominate across the globe. I am queen of productive procrastination. Like, it won't even be me twiddling my thumbs, it'll be me avoiding this task with another form of productivity. Like, oh, I'm avoiding this thing. Let me go learn Spanish right now. Like, what? No one's doing it like me. Nobody. I'm a procrastination legend. Generations of children would know about me if this was like a competitive sport. Like, that's how committed I am to procrastination. And so I do think this deprivation will be great for that, when I decide to do it. I wrote down 7 a.m. this morning. It's Tuesday. We'll see. We'll see if I stick to it. I'm going to do my best. I am. But I already know this just sounds really hard. Like, it sounds hard. It sounds really hard. But week 4 was great. I think I might have convinced my homegirl to do this. She's at a point in her journey where she wants to kind of pivot and figure out, she's a DJ, and she wants to figure out like what else she'd like to do. And I was like, hey girl, I'm doing this 12 week. I know 12 weeks is a hell of a commitment, but it's been very helpful. Even if you don't do all 12 weeks, I do think it's worth some of the exercises. I printed out, somebody on the online somewhere made a week by week printout of all the exercises. I think it's worth looking into for anybody who is kind of like needs to think and sit with themselves and figure things out. Like, this is great for that. I can't recommend it enough. It might be torturesome. It might not. Maybe I'm just being dramatic. I don't know. But yeah, the deprivation, I'm going to try it. I'm going to try it. I ran from it, and after sitting with it for a few days, fine. You win. You win. I will give it a try. But that's for a later video. So, yeah, we survived another week. I'm kind of shocked. I'm still week 4. I'm kind of proud of myself. Wasn't sure I was going to make it this far. Granted, we have a long ways to go, but yeah, we're hanging in there begrudgingly, but we're doing it. All right, I will talk to y'all later next week. Have a productive week. All right, bye.